Alright, so hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and I thought I would start 2019 by taking a quick look at Mesa's Prime signature secondary weapon, the Akjagara Prime. So first things first, you can get the blueprint for the Akjagara Prime as a common drop from the Neo S9 relic, the barrel as a rare drop from the Meso A1 relic, the link as an uncommon drop from the Meso M2 relic, and the receiver as an uncommon drop from the Axi L3 relic. And to build the weapon, you will have to get 2 barrels, 2 receivers, 1 link, 1 blueprint, as well as 10 Rokin cells and some credits. The Akjagara Prime are a pair of secondary burst pistols that require you to be at least Mastery rank 12 to use, and they do 72 damage per shot, and it's split between 2 pellets because you're firing both of them at the same time, so each weapon is doing 36 per bullet. So when you take that into account, the damage distribution is actually 57.6 as slash and 7.2 as both puncture and impact. The Akjagara Prime are very accurate with 18% crit chance, a slightly above average 2.2 times crit multiplier, and a really good 32% status chance. The weapon can fire up to 10 rounds per second with 40 rounds in the magazine, though since you're firing 2 at a time you only get 20 shots. It has a pretty decent 1.4 second reload time, good accuracy, and it also comes with pretty nice 0.2 meters of punch through. So it's pretty much what you would expect, an upgrade of the standard Akjagara, with the exception of the fire rate. The fire rate is actually lower than on the standard Akjagara. And finally, the Akjagara Prime also comes with 2 V polarities as standard, which is of course very nice. Now, the setup I ended up using on the Akjagara Prime requires 2 more Forma, where you add 2 Vs, and it's a hybrid build with Hydraulic Crosshair. So I'm running Hornet Strike for damage, Barrel Diffusion for multi-shot, Lethal Torrent for fire rate and multi-shot, Prime Pistol Gambit for crit chance, Prime Target Cracker for crit damage, Hydraulic Crosshairs for even more crit chance on a headshot, and finally Frostbite and Pistol Pestilence for almost 100% status chance and some viral damage, which goes really well with the high slash the weapon comes with. Now, it's no secret that a high status viral slash hybrid setup is really good, but it's doubly so for something like the Akjagara Prime, because you're firing twice the bullets you would with a normal weapon, so you're gonna spray the enemy with an absolute truck ton of slash procs with the occasional viral proc here and there. And since slash will bypass defenses like armor and shields, it doesn't really matter what kind of enemy you're fighting, because you're gonna take down even the toughest enemies from each faction at level 100 with just a couple of shots. Though you might not necessarily want to use viral if you're fighting the Corpus or you're playing around in low level areas on the star chart, and you might want to use gas instead. And that's because the gas clouds can overlap, which works really well once again with the high amounts of bullets you're firing with each pull of the trigger, and it will just straight up decimate anything that's either not resistant to it or is low enough level to simply die from the toxin proc that's left behind by the cloud. So surprise surprise, the Akjagara Prime is actually pretty good. Though it does have a bit of a downside, but it's really not that severe, and that's the ammo total, because you have 360 rounds in total, but you're firing 2 at a time, so you only have 180 shots in the base magazine before you run out. And while that's not an issue like 95% of the time, I did run out of ammo twice in endless missions where I was using fetch, so you might want to combine this with carrier if you want to do really long missions. So that's kind of like the one thing to bear in mind with this weapon. If you want to do really long endless missions, or you want to stay out in the plains or in other valleys for extended periods of time, vacuum and fetch might not necessarily be enough to keep up your ammo. But once again, it's really not a big deal. So would I recommend the Akjagara Prime? Yes I would. I think they're a pair of well-rounded secondary pistols that are very much worth picking up if you're at the right mastery rank or you have the money to buy Prime Access, because you can bypass the mastery requirement if you buy them via Prime Access. They're also fairly unique because while they're technically a burst weapon, they're not really, you're just firing both of them at the same time. So they feel different to other burst weapons. It kind of feels like if you were to take a normal burst weapon, load it with all the fire rate you have and then use it. That's how the Akjagara Prime feel, and that's how the standard Akjagara felt as well. And that's why I personally didn't like the standard Akjagara, and unfortunately why I don't like the Akjagara Prime either. To me, this type of firing mechanism, combined with the somewhat weak sound, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. But it's very much a personal preference kind of thing, which is why I would still highly recommend you pick this weapon up, because I don't think too many of you will be bothered by the sound and the feel as much as I am. For me, personally, feel and sound are very high on the priority list, okay? But anyway, that's enough rambling for today. So I thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Sons and daughters, by the heart of who we are, making nature, strong